I'm Madelyn Burke alongside Paul Dottino with your 2-minute drill. It's week 5. The Giants are facing their first NFC East opponent, a Cowboys team that's leading the league with 509 yards per game and the third highest scoring average in the NFL.
You talk about points, Madelyn. This team is over 35 points a pop, and they are just doing it by coming from behind, getting off to slow starts, and then racing back into ball games. Now, for the Giants, it's all about matchups, and how can they create matchups that will be to their advantage? Defensive back Logan Ryan says Patrick Graham's pretty good at doing just that.
It's been great. He's really intellectual. He moves his players around. He moves me around a lot to help the defense to the best of my abilities and my skill set. And I think last week was, although not a win, I think it was the players executing his vision a little bit. It was very creative in our game plan and very different than what we've done to stop the Rams. And I believe that he's a coordinator who's not afraid to change from week to week in order to take away the opponent's strengths.
One piece of good news, Madelyn, is that Jabril Peppers was back on the field during Wednesday's walkthrough. He, of course, is coming off of a lower leg injury.
Absolutely. And as we flip sides and look at the other side of the ball, the Giants offense is going against a Cowboys defense that has allowed an average of 42 points per game the last 3 weeks. Now, Daniel Jones talked about this matchup and said, hey, it's very helpful having Jason Garrett on his side as he's very familiar with the Cowboys.
You know, Coach Garrett's very familiar with their personnel. You know, they've had some some injuries and some turnover, just in terms of the personnel. And, but his familiarity with a lot of the guys is certainly helpful when we, scout them and look at them on tape. The system's different. You know, they're running a different defense with a different coordinator. But like you said, a lot of the personnel is similar, and Coach is very familiar with those guys.
Well, Garrett had his decade or so in Dallas, Madelyn, but let's not forget Mark Colombo is a former Cowboys offensive line coach, and Cam Fleming used to play some offensive line for Dallas last year. I think the Giants will be able to get some tips from all of those guys.
Definitely knowing the opposite personnel helps a little bit as well. The Giants face the Cowboys Sunday afternoon, 4:25 Eastern, the first NFC East matchup of the season for New York. For Paul Dottino, I'm Madelyn Burke, and this has been your 2-minute drill.